Hey, in this video, I'm going to be talking about the top 5 mistakes to avoid when starting your woodworking business. Starting a woodworking business is certainly daunting, especially taking it from a hobby to a business, but there are 5 simple mistakes that you can avoid. Let's jump right in. Number 1, don't buy machines based on wants, buy machines based on needs. If you're like me, you're like pretty much every other woodworker, you see a shiny new state-of-the-art machine and you gotta have it, you want it, you can't take your eyes off of it, you can't sleep because you're always thinking about it. Don't do that. If you're trying to be a woodworker as a business, then treat it like a business. What do you need, not what do you want. What you want and what the customer wants are 2 different things sometimes. What the customer wants will align more with what you need to be successful, to treat that customer and take care of that customer, provide a good quality product. What you want is not necessarily what's best financially or what will make you the most money or be more efficient to make the most money. So buy tools based on what you need, not based on what you want. Here's a good example of this. Everybody hates sanding, myself included, but a nice sander may be more beneficial to speed up your efficiency in your processes over a nice jointer. Sometimes a cheaper quality jointer will still get the wood just as smooth and milled up as a expensive jointer, whereas a nice sander may legitimately speed up your sanding process. Even though sanding is boring, that's not what you want, it could be what you need. The second mistake to avoid is underpricing your projects. That's right, underpricing, not overpricing. There are a few bad things that can happen if you underprice your projects. Number 1, you just simply leave no room for profit. You're not taking into account everything. You might be taking into account the wood that's needed, but what about the wood glue and the sandpaper discs and the screws, the fasteners, the joinery, the dowels, whatever it is? You may be missing something. So you need to make sure that you're not underpricing your projects. That's just the material and cost of goods sides of things, not to mention your labor and your shop rate. Now you may be thinking to yourself, I'm just a one-man show, I don't have a shop rate. Yes, you do. If you have a space that you're working in, it is costing you something. It may be something as simple as a couple of LED lights and a power bill for your machines, but it's still costing you something. You also have all the consumables in your shop that you're probably not thinking about. Drill bits, saw blades, router bits, edge banding for plywood, cabinet door handles, things that just don't pertain to the project, but will cost you money over time. As for the hourly rate, you also personally want to make a profit. So you have a shop rate, and in that should be your personal hourly rate. The next issue with underpricing your projects can be that you're just mentally not motivated. This has happened to me several times where I price a project, think I'm gonna make money, I sleep on it a couple days, I get started on the project, and now all I wanna do is rush through the project to hurry up and get done because the amount of time it's taken me to do that project, I don't feel is fair for the amount that I'm charging the customer. I'm not saying price gouge, and I'm not saying that your goal should be to retire off of one customer, but all I'm saying is do not undersell yourself and do not underprice your projects. The third mistake that I sometimes see is trying to be an expert in all disciplines. And what I mean is you're a jack of all trades, but a master of nothing. Niche down. What they say is very true. Niche down. You may think, well, I don't want to do that because I want to broaden the spectrum of customers. Well, that's fine, but each one of those customers is not as dedicated, so the amount of profit that you're going to get from them is not as significant as if you found a very niche customer. Being an expert in all fields as a mistake applies to both physical goods and digital assets. What I mean is if you're trying to market yourself or you're trying to do something on social media, niche down with that as well. Maybe you start just on YouTube or just on Instagram or just on Pinterest. Not Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, Facebook, all of those. You're going to just wear yourself out. You're going to burn yourself out. And you're not going to be a true expert in any of them. And again, it's the same for physical goods as well. Don't try to sell cabinets, cutting boards, signs, bowls, pins, all that stuff. Maybe you start with just cutting boards. Be the best cutting board maker there is. Maybe you start with just wooden signs. Be the best wooden sign maker that there is. And look, it's the pot calling the kettle black. These are things that I have personally done as mistakes that I'm just trying to share with you that maybe can help you out in the future. So please don't take it as you're doing something wrong. I've done all these same mistakes previously. Mistake number 4, and again, I'm guilty of this, is trying to get too big too quick. And this kind of goes hand in hand with buying the tools that you need, not the ones that you want. If you do not need a big helical head 16-inch joiner, do not buy one. Do not try to get too big too quick. Number one, that causes burnout, and number two, financially, that can cause some serious problems as well. This also pertains to the business side of things. For example, don't try to make yourself seem like a multi-million-dollar business if you're not. It's okay to admit that you're a one-man show, you're just starting out. Be humble, be real with people. They may be more likely to give you business that way. Along with that, don't try to take on jobs that you're just simply not capable of. Yes, there is a fine line that at some point you're going to have to cross if you ever want to up your business and grow. But if you're not set up to take on a $30,000 cabinet job, then do not commit to that. Don't fool the customer into thinking you can handle it if you can't. Stay humble. Of course, have the drive to get super big and to grow your business, but don't try to get too big too quick. You don't want to be a one-man show today, and then by tomorrow you have a video editor, a social media manager, an office manager, an accounts payable manager. Now you have 5 employees, but just yesterday you had no idea how to manage people. A bad example, but you get the point. Mistake number 5 is building what you want, not what the customer wants. That's the distinction between a hobby and a business. A hobby is doing what you want to do because it's fun. It's a hobby. If you want to turn it into a business, you need to do what the customer wants. They are the ones paying you. You've got to think like a business. You may enjoy doing some sort of design on a sign or some type of cabinet, but if customers want a different type of cabinet, that's what you need to do because they are the ones paying you. So you kind of have to reevaluate your mindset of doing what the customer wants, not what you want. What you want is fine, but you're not making money paying yourself. Customers paying you money is how a business succeeds. Hope you found these 5 tips/mistakes helpful. If you did, be sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on future videos. Take care.